This system I do here with this borer here, this is a new system for me. But for other people, it may not be new to them because I normally do field visit. And they feel, I went to some field, but I can't remember which one of the field I went to. And I saw they did it and I saw borer hanging right through. So I decided to try it out. Right? I did it on a small portion and it worked. So I did it in this is the full bed that I did it on. And to my knowledge, it working good. It looked good and I think it will do good.
Hanoman Ramsarup, or Uncle Jack as he's fondly called, is a vegetable farmer on the Essequibo Coast. He's 63 years old and has been farming for over 40 years. It is an integral part of his life.
I started plant bolanjay. I sent 2 children to university with plant bolanjay and bolanjay alone. Nothing else more. Me and my wife normally come down. And they complete their university with that. So from bolanjay, I just do retail in the market, the selling in the market, and from the market I just see other product, what people want. And I started off with tomato, cabbage, sweet pepper.
Like a healthy crop, Ramsarup's farming venture has blossomed over time. He has even ventured into selling agriculture products, chemicals, at his shop. But he hasn't been doing it alone.
Basically, I'm a housewife, and I just left my housework and come help him, you know, when the work is plenty. And after time, I find my own things, you know. I used to do sewing, I used to do catering, and eventually all of that I give up just to the shop.
When we just come down here, sometimes she left, she work and she come with me to help. Because that time when we just start off, we didn't have couldn't afford to pay labor force. And she would come and she would assist me to do the work. Now she come up and she start expand, we start expand. And from the shop now, she is the sole backbone for the shop. I don't even know how some chemical reach in the shop and she put it in. She call it, she bring them, and she run in this whole shop and she Without she, I would have been nothing.
The couple and several other farmers are among those benefiting from the Sustainable Agriculture in the Caribbean project, which is being implemented by the World University Service of Canada. The project focuses on empowering women, youth and marginalized male farmers, addressing the challenges faced by these farmers and developing solutions for improving agricultural markets. The Ramsarups have been actively working along with other farmers, particularly women along the coast, to help them with their farms as well. They do so through the Taymat Manor Affiance Farmers Cash Crop Group.
Some of them have backyard farming, some of them do large farm. We got about 3 or 4 of them do large scale like me. And the women, some of them are single women. That's why they join up in the group. So we share ideas with one another and then start cultivating the backyard. And everybody start off feeling good.
Through the project and from interactions with other farmers, many in the group are now able to improve how they farm. Ramsarup, for one, has a very different setup on his farm now.
As time goes by, we went to various other farms and we see how other people doing it. I go to the internet and I see different things. So I end up, before time we had to move pump from one place to the next to get water. We never used to have pipe. We have one hose running through and we hold it and we wet plant as a whole heap of work. And as time roll on, we start thinking, we start use pipeline and we put the pump in one position. We don't move it. We set pipeline all over the place and we put valve. So the pump can use what we want to water, that is how we open. And between there now we have the waterer. We call it the irrigation tube. Between each one of them bed this. Everyone that we don't have to set that up before we do any plantation, whether rainy season or whether dry season.
Farming is a venture particularly susceptible to climate change, so Ramsarup and those in his group have been figuring out ways of adapting.
The president announced that climate change start coming and we must go to greenhouse. I started with one. I always like to go something in front when people are doing it. And I started with one, and when I started that one, the result I get with that one, my brother came over and he saw it and he went and he made some bigger one. Right? And from the one, I said, this thing working good, it better if we got the greenhouse than for any other thing. And I went and make a next one, then I make a next one, then I keep expanding in the greenhouse stage.
Ramsarup says farming is in his blood and he will do all he can to spread the best practices he knows. helping more farmers to adapt to climate change and just benefit from agriculture. For the newsroom, Vishani Raghavir.